Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and it's Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for weekly purchases, the time of the week where we investigate what came through the door via DHL, Amazon, United States Postal Service, UPS, FedEx, that old outlaw Waylon Jennings, and what did Kyle pick up on an insane road trip tour? It'll all be answered in today's weekly purchases, and normally we talk about the toy news of the week, but I did that in weekly purchases part 1, so if you missed that video, check that one out, as this is traditionally Toy Fair week. Tons and tons of toy announcements this week. I cover it all in that video, and I said I'm going to do that as a separate video, and do this as its own video because I don't know if anybody wants a 2-hour long weekly purchase. You can break it up into 2 different videos or pick and choose, whatever you want to do. Choose your own adventure, as I always say. But what a week here on the channel. There's a lot to get into, and of course that big Jakks Classic Superstars pickup, and we're going to talk about that as well. But let's do it like we normally do it on the channel. Let's cover the week that was, and that Jakks Classic road trip, 5-hour trip to Chicago, 5 hours home. A lot going on with that, so check out that vlog. You don't want to miss that one. One of the most insane purchases of my life. We'll talk much more about that in the days and weeks and months and years to come, so stay tuned. We also did our Jakks Deluxe Classic Superstars deep dive every single Tuesday on the channel, as you guys know. We unboxed all the WWE Mattel Elite Royal Rumble figures. We built Jimmy Hart. That is done. On to the next Elite Wave, but if you missed those, check those videos out. Playmates Turtle. It's kind of an unofficial Turtle Tuesday on the channel. We unboxed the Playmates Throwback Turtles. A lot of nostalgia unboxing those. Check that video out. A good one. We unboxed some Spawn this week. Soul Crusher, a very cool figure of a character I have no experience with. But Soul Crusher on the channel this week. One I do have experience with, though, with Spawn is Cygor. Love that big gorilla. I've loved him for a lot of years. I was a little let down on the figure, though, and if you watch that video, you will see why. But we unboxed Cygor this week. We unboxed the Boss Fight accessory packs from the Masked Republic. If you saw those, dog collar match, all that kind of stuff. Some accessories I would have just died for as a little kid. Now, all these years later, we have those. I unboxed those on the channel this week. We also did our Kyle Peterson top 5. We do it every single week. We did the top 5 Earthquake figures, very timely, because I was unboxing his figure as part of the Royal Rumble set, and that is why I wanted to do the top 5. As I had them all out there, I said, you know what, I need to do a top 5 Earthquake. We're going to do them all eventually, but I wanted to make sure to get Earthquake done, and I thought that was a very, very timely one to do, so we did our top 5 Earthquake figures. We also did Masters of the Universe 2000 series is what you would call it. Cyclone. I've had that video filmed for months. We finally dropped that one on Friday. I have a lot of backlog videos that we dance in there every once in a while, but we unboxed him. And then, of course, our Friday tradition, our toy hunt for the week. I was traveling. I'm a traveling man. I put in a lot of hours every week at my day job and this and everything. I'm a busy, busy man. But I had a 10-hour trip south down to warmer weather, Springfield, Missouri. I was down there for a store opening this week. Hit some stores along the way, hit some stores along the way back. 20 hours of drive time, about 55 hours of work this week on top of the drive time. Kyle's a tired guy, and I might have some time off next week. I am actually... As it sits right now, I don't think it'll hold up, but I might have 5 days off in a row next week. Can you believe that? I haven't had 5 days off in a row. 2005, maybe, something like that, but I'm planning on doing a lot of stuff around my collection as we prepare for the March collection tour. Unfortunately, I could not get the collection tour done in February like I originally planned. That'll all be a lot more clear to you guys in the future. I don't want to say legal reasons I couldn't do it, but I was asked not to do it quite yet. A long story that'll become clear very soon, but I think if you enjoy what we do here on the channel, there might be some things for you in the future that you will really enjoy. So stay tuned. It'll all be worth it in the end, but I'm going to be working on that and a few other projects during my time off. Keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully I'll actually be off next week. So we got that going on. Another thing we wanted to talk about here is the Patreon. We've been dangling that carrot for the last few weeks. The Patreon is officially live. I give a soft open right now. March 1st is when it'll be the big open. But it is live. Go to Patreon. Go to the link in the description below. Go to Patreon. Search Kyle Peterson. You can see what it's all about. Got 3 tiers out there. I understand Patreon's not for everybody. I get it. You know, we all vote with our wallets. I totally get it, more than most people do. But if you want to support the channel, you can. There's a $1.99 tier, there's a $5 tier, and a $25 tier. It just depends what you want to do. The 25 tier, you get a lot of the stuff from the $5 tier, but every month I'm going to choose some giveaway, and you'll get a few other things. You're going to help choose the top 5, top 10 countdowns if you're in that tier, but there's also going to be giveaways, and we're going to talk some giveaways in this video as well. $5 tier, that's the meat and potatoes. That's where you're getting a lot of stuff. The $1.99 tier, that's just you supporting the channel. You know, when I do the That's So Hard to Say Goodbye videos, usually I sell that stuff. Guess what? Patreon people, you get first dibs at it. That's what I'm going to do. There'll be a lot of stuff like that, so it'll be worth your while, even at the $1.99 tier, if you're interested in some of my stuff. As you guys know, I've talked about it before. I film a lot of videos. I'm just not going to release 10 videos to YouTube every single day, or whatever the number is. A lot of days we have 3 videos, which is probably overkill, but I have a lot of videos in the can just for rainy days, stuff like that. I have a week's worth of videos just in case I get sick. You know how it goes. But you'll be able to see all those ahead of time. Like right now, if you're a member of the Patreon, you can see the very next edition of That's So Hard to Say Goodbye. I don't know when that'll drop, maybe 2 weeks from now, who knows. You'll be able to see that video. Jack's Deluxe Classics Review Series 6. That's up there already, so you can watch that if you want to get ahead of it from Tuesday. All this stuff will eventually come to the channel. I'm just not exactly sure when. When I get the action figure tour, it'll go on Patreon first. The only thing that won't go to Patreon first is probably like reveal videos. When Mattel does a reveal, I'm going to get that out right away. Weekly purchases, you should probably be able to get that Friday night or so. Basically, the majority of all my week's videos you should have by Sunday night, Monday morning. They will be posted on the Patreon. So it'll let you guys get out ahead of things if you're so inclined. Plus, you got a lot of giveaways, different things. And we'll talk about it more in depth. Maybe I'll do a separate video just to have. And if you guys have any questions, you can reach out. But I think it should be fun. I think a lot of you guys will enjoy it. Get more interactive, choosing videos, things like that. So a lot of good stuff to come to the Patreon. And subscribe if you are so interested. Like I said, link in the description below. A lot of stuff going to be going up this weekend on there. And then March 1st is when it officially, I guess, is known to the world, we'll call it. But if you want to check it out right now, you can. So there you go. Support the channel, as I always say. But a lot of toys this week. So a lot of pickups. Possibly, well, it would be my second biggest pickup week of all time. You guys remember I picked up that Masters Universe Classics collection a year ago or so. Well, I moved on and got this Classics collection, and I don't know what I'm doing sometimes, but I had a reason. There's a method for the madness here a little bit. A lot of people have had 2 questions. Wow, that's awesome. You got a Classic Superstars collection overnight. Well, that's the people that don't know I already have that collection. And then there's people like, why do you need a second collection? And so I get it. I get both of them there. Now, this collection had all the variants. And now, I am a Classics completist. There's different rules for completionists. I view Complete Jakks Classic as the entire wave of everything that was normally released. The 1 of 3,000, stuff like that. The 1 of 5s, the 1 of 3s, 1 of 100s. Yes, they're part of that collection, but I do not count those because those aren't general releases that everybody had an opportunity to get, if that makes sense. But I can see somebody saying, well, if you don't have those, you don't have a complete collection. And I get it. It just depends how you justify it to yourself. You got to justify everything to yourself, and that's how I justify it. Everything that was available for regular purchase, I have, and now I have doubles of. But this one went a step farther. This is something I never counted. And we've talked about it in our Classics videos we do every single Tuesday, how there's a Big John stud. He came with a ring bell, and there's one that came with a chair. To me, that's an accessories change. It doesn't matter. But this collection I bought had every single one of those variants. So you get Cowboy Bob Orton with different kind of sock colors. You get ringside collectibles, Taz with the towel around his waist, the towel to the side. All those crazy variants. There's like 30 figures right there that I didn't have. I don't think I'm going to display those, but I guess it's just nice to have. It's just a very, very weird one. But then also in there was some 1 of 100s that I needed. There was the 2 rings. I've talked about it. I've had those rings twice in my life, now a third. I had those rings. I needed those. And there was a couple other pieces I needed. We'll talk about it. I actually grabbed a few of them out. Now, like I said, I was on the road this week. I haven't had time to go through all the tubs and catalog what I need, what I don't. But I opened one tub, found a few things. I thought I'd put those in weekly purchases. And as I find a few other things, maybe there'll be weekly purchases to come. I don't know how exactly I'm going to do that. But I don't need all these figures. That's a lot of people saying, Kyle, you selling any of these? You selling these? Yeah, I need to get some of that money back for sure. So I will be selling a lot of these. As you guys know, I have all of them on card. And I probably have 100 of them loose, especially the guys that we haven't got Mattels from. So like Giant Gonzalez, perfect example. Him and Harvey Whippleman have to have them loose because we haven't had them. So now I got an extra 2 Harvey Whipplemans and Giant Gonzalez figures. I get to sell that. So if I have it loose, I haven't been on card, I don't need it if I already have those two. So I got probably at least 100 and some figures to sell, maybe even more. I got to go through it, like I said, hopefully this week. So I will have stuff for sale. They'll be on Patreon. I'm going to have the whole list up there. If you guys want them, you're going to get first dibs before I go to Facebook groups and other places like that. So just if you're into Jakks Classic Superstars, you're going to want to be a part of this because there's going to be some high dollar stuff. Like Ming is one of those ones. Ming, I got a loose one, I got a mint on card one. He's one of the hardest, if not the hardest, regular line one to get. I don't need it, so I'm going to sell it. I'm not giving these away, guys. Come on. It's not going to be, hey, well, you give me $30 for that Ming or whoever it is. That's just not going to happen because guess what? I need that money back to help fund some of that. It's a revolving. It is a business. It's the old toy business at the end of the day. But I will have some stuff for sale. And then, as we all know, the Jakks Classic Superstars unboxing or the reviews on Tuesday we do. We've been doing it for 2 years. We've been going through every single line. I might start unboxing on Tuesdays. We'll see what happens. I'm not an absolute maniac. I am, but I'm not. Because there's like stuff like that Legion of Doom 2-pack. The one I absolutely love. That's very hard to get. Pro Figures exclusive. I've got 3 of those now. I really want a loose set. It's going to break my heart to open it because it's a $200-some figure, but I really want them loose. So we might do some of those unboxings on the channel. I mean, we could really make the Jakks Classics line videos on Tuesdays to go another year, which might make us have to start another video series of the Mattel on their own while we do it. We're doing a Turtle Tuesday unofficially right now. We're doing top 5, top 10s on Thursdays. I might add in there another day where it's every Friday or every Sunday. It's a deep dive into a line. Maybe we do ECW Original San Francisco Toy Makers for a month, and then we do OSFTM WCW for a month, and we do Bone Crunchers for, like that. So I don't know. I got to figure it out. There's so much content we can come, and that's where Patreon's going to help out. It's not going to flood your feeds, but for you guys that really want that kind of stuff, you'll be able to pick and choose off that of Patreon. So more to come on that, but Jakks, no sign of slowing down. I got to go through it all. I'm very excited. There's a lot of big plans involved Jakks Classic Superstars for me. As you guys know, it is my favorite line of all time as far as wrestling figures go. I just absolutely do love it. So stay tuned. There'll be a lot of Jakks stuff. Like I said, we're going to sell some of that stuff as well. So if you're interested in some mint on card Classic Superstars, I might be able to help you out. We'll see what happens with that. But we're going to talk about a little bit of that in the weekly purchases. So be ready for that. So let's do it. Let's do some weekly purchases right now. We've jibber-jabbered enough, as Mr. T would say. And speaking of Mr. T, let's start with him first. Retro-Mania back in the game. Got this one right as a classic. As weekly purchases ended last Saturday. I think I got this on Monday in the mail, I think it was. Maybe it was Saturday, I don't know. But got the brand new 4-pack of Mattel Retros. I will be unboxing these shortly. I will have these on the Patreon this weekend. Sometime next week, Sunday. We'll figure it out. It'll be up this week on the channel somewhere. But I can't wait to dive into these Retros. And as you guys know, I'm part of that Double Cup Club. So I got a mint on card set. I got a set to open. So I will have that. So stay tuned for some retro unboxings. Everybody loves retros. Unless you don't, then you don't. So there you go. But we got the Retros. Saw an order 2 weeks ago. This came up online. Bluefin. They sell a lot of the Storm collectibles, and we're very familiar on the channel with Storm collectibles between the Hulk Hogan's, the Jushin Thunder Ligers, Mortal Kombat figures, Street Fighter figures, that kind of stuff. Well, one line I've been itchy for since day one was Golden Axe. I absolutely loved Golden Axe as a kid. One of my favorite video game series. I've debated on the figures, but man, they sell out fast. Well, Big Bad Toy Store re-releasing some of them. And then Bluefin Brands had a big sale on their site where you buy any 2 Storm figures, you got a free one. So I said, now's the time. Got to get a deal. It's if I had the shirt on, I'd wear it. But Pro Wrestling Tees got to get a deal. That's what you got to do. I said, okay, Kyle, you're going to get this. Now's the time to jump in because you're getting a free figure. And what did I get this week? I got the exclusive Skeleton 2-pack. This is more of the gray skeletons. Now, they've released the Skeleton 2-pack a ton of. I think there's a fluorescent one, a pink one, a white one, a red one. There's tons of different colors. So I'm not getting all the colors. I figured this 2-pack was just fine for me. And then we got Death Adder. Very similar. They have him in green and blue, different colors. They have different ones. I decided to go with the red. So that's where I'm calling it good there. I'm just going to get one of each character, not the repaints. Just not going to do that. But I got him a big figure, a lot bigger than I thought he was going to be in hand. So I picked him up. And then what free figure do you get? Well, it's something I know nothing about. Gears of War, Kate Diaz Winter Armor. I have never heard of this character. I've heard of Gears of War. I don't know anything about it. But if you bought these, you got a free pin. You bought 2 figures, you got a free pin and this figure for free. And I said, guess what? This is a little coupon action. I can sell this for 40 bucks or whatever it is. Help offset the price of these. And that's part of gotta get a deal. Sometimes you gotta bundle knowing you're gonna sell some stuff. And that's exactly what I did right here. So Kate Diaz, I will be selling her fairly soon. So there you go. So I got some Golden Axe, more to come. I did pre-order that new Big Bad Toy Store pack. I think ships in March. It comes with the dragon and the hero and all that fun stuff. So more to come on that on the Golden Axe front. So stay tuned there. You guys saw me on the action figure hunt this week. You never know what you're going to find in rural Walmarts. When you're traveling the off-the-beaten-path area, unfortunately not a lot of Targets in the off-the-beaten-path, but rural Missouri, there's Walmarts down there, and you never know what you're going to find, and I always tell you guys, go down those clearance aisles. You never know what surprise may wait, and there was a big surprise. Series 89, Drew McIntyre. Look at that, $10 on old Drew McIntyre. And what happened here is, it's too bad for Walmart, because what happened is they have the new modular set. They were setting it early. They scanned their gun into here, their tells on, and said, wait, this isn't supposed to be here. They made a mistake. They clearanced it down to $10. So their mistake, I guess, is my gain, or more importantly, your guys' gain, as I'll probably have this as part of the first month Patreon giveaway. The first month, we got to go big. We got to give away a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to give away this Drew McIntyre. They also had, of course, Nia Jax for $10. So I'll throw her in as well. More to come. Like I said on the Patreon, I'm going to have a little bit more, but we're going to throw those 2 in there. And then another Drew McIntyre was there, so I said, what the heck, I'll pick him up. I can figure something out, maybe a different giveaway. Who knows? But Drew McIntyre, Nia Jax, $10 each. Got to get a deal out there. That is a deal. That's perfect for some giveaways, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And it was funny, I passed on them, and then 2 days later on my road trip home, there they were, untouched, still just hanging there. So not a lot of love for these guys at $10 apparently in rural Missouri. But I did pick those up. And then via Amazon, I got old Joaquin Wilde, and I believe this is the Chase version. I got this from Amazon. You guys know I love face paint, I love masks, so I had to pick this bad boy up. Used to be old DJZ back in the day, but I believe this is the Chase version. We'll unbox him on the channel one of these days soon. And then I got Santos Escobar with his face paint, so I'll be able to have these guys. Got a few more to go. I'll probably get the paint version of that one as well. But Amazon coming in hot this week. Always love getting my basics off Amazon. Once again, gotta get a deal. I don't like to pay over the price on basics, and I don't think a lot of you guys do as well. So we got that. How about Jazzwares? Now, this has been quite the process. November, December, we're about almost 4 months now. I've been waiting for this. I sent mine back in November, and I've been waiting with no response, no nothing. I thought I was just totally screwed, for lack of better terms. But I finally got my Aubrey Edwards figure. I got the corrected one with the non-yellow torso. Finally came back in the mail. I was really sweating it. I figured, gosh, we have to buy another one. It's ridiculous. But they made good on it. It just took them about 4 months, but I did get my Aubrey Edwards this week. For those of you guys keeping track at home, I did get my Kane arm and head as well a few weeks back. So all is right with the world as of right now. So I got those. And then what I got this week via Hasbro Pulse, Hand Ninja Marvel Legends. Now, they had the red traditional one. This is more of a bluish, kind of grayish one. I said, I'm only getting one of these. I don't need that many. I already have like 7 of the red ones. I figured this guy could be like a leader or something. I'll just have one. I didn't want to buy a ton of these to army build. I just didn't. So I didn't. So I got one. So there you go. And then I picked this one up. Every once in a while you see a figure of something you don't know anything about, and you see it on the shelf, and you say, you know what? I'm going to pick this bad boy up. And that's exactly what I did. I don't even know what his name is. Tyrand Gene Stealer? Tyrant Gene Stealer. It just looked like a crazy monster for maybe my Spawn shelf, or who knows, Marvel Legends. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with this, but it just was intriguing enough at a $20 price point. I said, you know what, I'm picking this bad boy up, and yeah, that's what I did. So every once in a while you get a wild hair and you pick up something foreign to you, and that's what I did. And we'll unbox it on the channel. That'll be one of those ones on Patreon that's up there for like 2 months, then we'll finally release it on the normal channel. That's what that'll be, but we'll get to it eventually. We got 2 more things before we take a little break and go to part 2. But I did find this. If you watched my action figure hunt, I was down in Overland Park, Missouri, or Overland Park, Kansas, I think it is technically. I was there. I was getting a little Kansas City Joe's barbecue, my favorite barbecue in all the land. So I was picking that up, and I ran across the street to the Target where I did find that Chase Darby Allin, if you remember that. And I said, what will I find? Well, I found She-Spawn from the brand new Spawn set. We unboxed Soul Crusher last week. We unboxed Cygor last week. We'll be able to unbox She-Spawn this week. So I don't know about this one. I don't know. I got some things to say, so stay tuned for that unboxing. But I was happy to get She-Spawn. And then finally, in this round of weekly purchases, I got the Zombie Deadpool Funko Pop. Now, I'm not a huge Funko Pop guy. I do have a Masters of the Universe Pop collection. That's one that's on the Patreon. I keep going back to it. Cheap plug. We'll get to that video eventually on the traditional YouTube. But I do have all these Marvel Zombies, and I was just missing this Deadpool one. And this one is fairly expensive. It's like a $70 one. Well, I just went in the middle of, where was I? Was it Bolivar, Missouri, I think is where it was. And he was just chilling on the shelf with all the other zombies. And I was like, man, I haven't seen him for like a year. I better pick this up. So I picked him up for 30 bucks. I'm just glad to finish that zombie line. I got to decide if I want that zombie Captain America from the What If. I don't know if it counts as part of this line or not. I guess it depends which way the wind blows. But I did pick up this zombie Deadpool. I thought it was a very good pickup in the middle of nowhere, Missouri. So there's part one of weekly purchases. Now let me clear some of this off and we'll do round two. All right, round two of weekly purchases begins here, and this is the Jack's Classic portion. With a little change right in between, I actually got a ring at the doorbell right as I stopped. What are the odds of that? The dogs went wild, of course, but I got via Hasbro Pulse Vision, White Vision Marvel Legends retro card. Ooh, this makes me a little bit hot at myself, of course. Now, I have a lot of pre-orders. Like many of you out there, I pre-order a lot of stuff from multiple places. But you know what? One says they're delivering, you cancel the other pre-order. But if you're buying a lot of figures, it gets very difficult to keep track of. And I'm sure some of you guys have probably funny stories where you got doubles of figures, things like that. I have been so good the last few years, 3-4 years, whatever it's been since pre-order mania really took hold of everybody. I've always canceled. I've always figured it out. I've always caught things. But for somehow, Hasbro Pulse, I missed out, and I got this Vision. We unboxed this on the channel, what, 6 weeks ago? Something like that. We unboxed him and Scarlet Witch. Now I got an extra Vision. So this is going to go to the Patreon giveaway. Talked about Nia, talked about Drew. More to come on that, but we're going to go first month of Patreon, go big or go home. We're going to give a bunch of stuff away that month, so be prepared for that. So I guess this Vision, he'll be added to the giveaway pile. My mistake is good for you guys, I guess we'll call that. I'm not taking the work to send it back to Hasbro Pulse. It's just not going to happen. But I got the White Vision. But then we got Jack's Classic Superstars this week, and I just pulled one tub out and a few loose ones that wouldn't fit in a tub, and I figured, hey, let's just show those, just a little peek of what some of the stuff is to come. I don't know if I do an unboxing video where I just go through the 14 tubs and we go through item by item. That could be a 2-hour video, so I don't know if that's the way to go, but maybe I'll find some pieces through the next few weeks as I get through them and I categorize them all and stuff like that will show in weekly purchases. Even though they're not traditionally that week, you guys will understand. But some interesting ones I found here. Superstar Billy Graham. Nobody knows. Is it a 1 of 100, 1 of 500? I feel 1 of 100. You know, nobody really knows quite for sure, but it's a 1 of 100 if you ask me. Not the greatest condition here, so I might open this. Am I that crazy? But Superstar Billy Graham, that was only sold at one Toys R Us during WrestleMania weekend, and that was the only chance to get that one. One of the very most underrated Jack's Class Superstars of all time, as a lot of people don't even know that exists. They don't understand how rare it actually is. But that's Superstar Billy Graham. Now I got 2 of them. I can't believe it. How about to another 1 of 100? This is an interesting one. One I never really believed in for the longest time. Obviously, when the internet really got going, I did. Jake the Snake, Rick Martel 2-pack, Toys R Us exclusive, 1 of 100 with the hoods. Of course, their blindfold match we all know about. I have the regular edition, just not the one with the blindfolds. Now I got the blindfold one. So very, very rare piece right here. I've never held this one in my hands until now. So a very, very rare piece. Very happy to have that one in the collection. And that's some of that stuff that I got. There was a lot of those really rare pieces, really exclusive pieces, and then those weird variants. Just a lot of stuff. And then some I needed for loose, and then some I'm going to open, of course. So there's that one there. We've talked about this one on the channel. Probably unbox this one as well. Hulk Hogan plus the big winged eagle. Gotta love that one. A fabulous one. Not sure about the Hulkster figure, but it does display very well. I do have that one. Not too special of a piece, but cool enough that it was, you know, not in a tub and easy accessible here. How about this one? How about a 1 of 100 I didn't have? So, not the most expensive 1 of 100, but it's still a 1 of 100 at the end of the day. And that is old Sunny in her Smoking Guns outfit. Sunny, living the dream right there. So I got the 1 of 100 Sunny to add to my 1 of 100 collections. We'll see. I only need a couple more 1 of 100s. Will I ever finish the 1 of 100s? I don't know. I don't have that Hulk Hogan, and that is a pricey piece. I don't know if I'll ever be able to stomach spending that much money for one figure, but stranger things have happened. I guess stay tuned. You never know what might happen. Two pieces out of that Jakks Class Superstar collection that I was really looking forward to having is, like I said, I've owned them twice in my life, sold them twice. Now wanting to get them back, they're so expensive. I'm happy they were a part of this collection. And what is that? It's the WrestleMania 2 ring. Right there, this bad boy, a big one, WrestleMania 2 ring, real scale ring from Jakks. Gotta love it. I absolutely love the back packaging on this guy. I love the cross sell of all the superstars. Just very, very cool. And of course, they got the real size ring. So you unfold this, if I had enough room, it shows how big the actual ring is. Absolutely love that. I might even have to do that Jakks Classic video all over again. We just talked about the rings, we didn't show them. Now we got the rings, so we could actually show them. I could delete that video and redo it. We'll see, maybe. But then the big one, as far as talking rings from Jakks Classic, we're talking about the Kmart exclusive that includes the Hulk Hogan Roddy Piper figure. Kmart only was this one of 10,000. Yeah, one of 10,000. Very hard to get at my Kmarts. Then they showed up, and then they disappeared forever. I owned this twice, sold this twice. Now it's almost $1,000 ring, sometimes higher. Very happy to knock that off the list as part of this collection I picked up. And that's it for the ones I have out right now. Like I said, we'll pepper a few of these in here in the weekly purchases to come. Of course, Jakks Classic Tuesdays, Patreon, social media, SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson if you're not following me there. A lot of Jakks stuff to go through and talk about. We got toy collection video coming. All the unboxings and reviews. If there's something you want me to move to the front of the house, let me know for the unboxings, and we will probably do that. This week, I am going to film a Q&A video. I mentioned that earlier. So if you have a question for me, leave it in the comments or leave it in the comments of the post. I'll try to get through as many questions as I can. Ask me whatever you want. You want some business tips? You want some wrestling tips? You want some display tips? We're going to do that, and we're going to do that monthly over at the Patreon, and I can help you build your display, whatever you guys might need. I'll be over there on the Patreon as well, but this will be a traditional Q&A for everybody. So if you got a question, leave it down below. Album of the week this week's an interesting one. I finally got time. As I said, I was in the car for 20 hours traveling. I said, okay, it's time to bust through these Lordi. If you guys, we've talked about Lordi before. They won the Eurovision Song Contest back in the day. For you Europeans, you know all about the Eurovision, of course. Very interesting band. I've seen them in concert a few times. A little inconsistent on the music, but I always check out their new albums, for good or for bad. They're somewhere in the middle most of the times. But they unleashed Lordiversity, however you pronounce it, but a box set. But they released something crazy. They did 7 albums all at the same time. So they're all up on your streaming platforms, all that. You can buy the box set. Very interesting. So they had, I wrote them all down here. Master Beast from the Moon, Skeletronic Dinosaur, Abusement Park, Humanimals, Abracadaver, Spooky Sextravaganza Spectacular, Superfly Trap. So every album is kind of a concept album. Like there's a disco type album. There's like a moody Alice Cooper type album. There's an electronic album. So very interesting. COVID took us all in different ways. Some people started a YouTube channel. Right here. Some people said, hey, I'm going to put 7 albums out of all my heroes and people I looked up to and do it in their style and stuff, which is kind of neat to give Lordi's interpretation of some of their heroes out there. So it was definitely worth the listen. I don't know if I would listen to all these albums again. I had plenty of time on my hands, obviously, like I said, driving about 20 hours. But it was very, very interesting. A very interesting concept and plan by a group. You don't see stuff like that in this new digital single-driven world, so we got to commend Lordi for that. But I did power through all those finally, so that was the album of the week for me. What was the album of the week for you? You let me know in the comments below. And then, of course, let me know what you picked up this week. How was your week on weekly purchases? Got to think next week going to be pretty soft on my end. Not a lot of stuff hitting right now, and I'm okay with it. I need the wallet break is what I need next week. So we'll have some stuff. I'm sure there'll be something come through the door, and we'll talk about it next week in weekly purchases. But in the meantime, make sure you follow me on social media, SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, and ProWrestlingTees.com. Got to get a deal, search Kyle Peterson. Then newly found, be one of the first on the old Patreon, link in the description below. So for weekly purchases, I'm a tired, busy guy. I am Kyle, and I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling to my daughter's birthday party. And I'll see you guys all real soon.